Welcome to the Being Human and Shit podcast, where we just have conversations about being human and shit, the human experience. But we are also guided by sacred plant medicines and sacred plant allies. And so we have been at this ayahuasca retreat for a little over a week now. And just yesterday, we sat in our fourth ayahuasca ceremony, and we're still, at least I'm still feeling the buzz a little bit, and just feeling good. But like I did on the first episode, and I guess this is the third episode, but I'm actually recording it second. And if you watch the second episode, you'll see why. But like I did with the first one, I'm gonna just open this one up with just a little prayer, just to kind of set the stage. Close your eyes, open your eyes. No, I don't give a fuck. But
mine are closed behind my sunglasses.
But really, I just want to take this opportunity to give thanks, and I don't know, take a deep breath. Recognize where we are, listen to the sounds of nature, and just express how grateful I am to be able to sit down and have this conversation and thank the Creator, God, Earth, the universe, whatever you want to call it. Thank Mother Earth for supporting us. Thank Grandmother Ayahuasca for all of the lessons and all of the things that she has taught us over this past week so far, and for supporting us in this conversation that we're about to have right now, and really allowing this conversation to be her moving through us as much as possible, and just give thanks, man. All about giving thanks, love, gratitude, and we're here. We'll be present. So
to be present.
With that, my guest today is the optimistic warrior, Steve Thompson.
Hello. It's going to be so weird trying to explain that to people.
Yeah. Do your best.
I mean, we will talk all about that. I mean, more like my friends or whatever. If my friends see this, I'm sure one of them will. Good.
We'll explain for these people what that means.
Yeah. Well, just before we get to that, when my friends eventually see that, it's going to be, we were talking about the in-betweeners yesterday, it's going to be like that. It's going to be absolutely, optimistic warrior. Piss-taking central.
Who the fuck do you think you are?
I know. So yeah, the optimistic warrior is apparently who I am now, defining myself as through two ayahuasca ceremonies. So the third one, of this retreat, the 8th one in total, which was hard.
The big 8.
Yeah.
I had a very challenging 8th ceremony a couple of months ago, but we can get into that too. But
and my 8th ceremony was also extremely challenging. The vibe was off. It was just, I was dead nervous. I was nervous coming in anyway, because my time at Dreamglade before here was really tough. Really, really tough, and so I was dreading coming here in the first place. But it's been a lot.
Yeah, why did you come back?
Why did I come back? You want to go straight into that? It was time. That's the coy answer.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was time. Things were going on. Obviously, we were talking. I'm getting divorced, which is pretty shit. But just, I've been feeling like I'd wanted to for a while. A friend of mine mentioned it to me years ago that he wanted to do it. And I got a bit gatekeepy about it. I was like, no, fuck you, that's my thing. And I thought, what a stupid mentality to have. But it definitely planted the seed. But because I was with my wife and she had no interest in doing this, she's like, absolutely fucking no, I'm not doing this. I was like, well, I'm never going to be able to do it. I can't just leave my missus to go and take drugs in the woods for 2 weeks. I've got to go on nice holidays with her. But and then when we separated, there was kind of, before we separated, we weren't going to go on vacation this year anyway. And I was like, okay, maybe I'll do it then. I've been feeling this kind of call to it again. Maybe we'll do it then. And then when we separated, I was like, okay, it's going to be done.
Yeah.
I was a bit I'd been through a breakup years ago where it was quite a rough breakup. And I'm convinced that like when people get heartbroken, they just lose, especially men, they just lose their fucking minds. And so when I went through that breakup, I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go do fucking stand up. Like, that was my kind of like insanity thing that I thought for a while, and then I never had the balls to do it.
We were just talking about that yesterday. I mean, I want to do stand up at some point. I think I'm gonna try when I'm back in Colorado in a month or something like that. Dude, I've been thinking about this for literally so long, and like one of the first, I guess, like kind of jokes that I'm writing or whatever the fuck is like sort of around that idea that like I've been thinking about doing stand up for so many years, like so many years, and it scares the shit out of me.
Yeah, it's terrifying.
Like it's terrifying for some reason, but then also the fact that like that terrifies me, stand up comedy, but from the time when I first heard about ayahuasca to when I was on a fucking plane going to Peru to do ayahuasca took like a year.
Right. Yeah.
Like that was like, you know what? Yeah, that's good. That's less scary to me than standing in front of maybe like 10 to 15 strangers and trying to be funny for 5 minutes.
Like 5 minutes is a long time. It's a
long
time,
time.
especially like I think it was Stuart Lee, who's a British comedian, was talking about like it's the only job where you're assessed on your job every 10 seconds.
Yeah.
And it just looks terrifying. So yeah, I never did that. And then I was thinking during this breakup, I was like, I've not really lost my mind, and like I don't think I'm gonna like go do slam poetry or something this time round. And then it kind of dawned on me, like around February time, after I'd booked this retreat, I was like, oh, that's how I lost my mind. I'm going to go to the jungle and do ayahuasca again.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was the kind of thing that really brought me here. It just felt right again. And I was...
And the last time you did it was how long ago?
2019. So this was like nearly 6 years ago.
And that was 6 ceremonies?
That's 5.
You did 5
I did 5.
ceremonies.
Yeah. So I did 5.
Gotcha.
And this is obviously 6. And so when I was like talking to people about it, they were like, oh, like, how you feeling? I'm like, I'm fucking terrified, man. This is awful. And people are like, last time I did 5 times, this time's going to be 6. So it kind of felt like a bit of an upgrade anyway. And a lot of people were like, why are you doing it? If it's so horrendous, everyone, like friends, family, like, I said to my mum, I was like trying to justify it to her. I was like, yeah, if like something scares you, then, or like if it's this uncomfortable, maybe it's worth doing. And my mum was like, oh, what? I'm scared of heights. Shall I just go climb the Runcorn Bridge where we're from? And I was like
maybe.
Yeah, maybe she should.
Maybe, I don't know.
But yeah, and I was just dreading it, and it's been amazing. We've done 4 ceremonies. It's been very different. The only thing I came in with no expectations other than I thought it would be different to last time. Mm-hmm. And it was. We're in a completely different place. Group dynamics are very different. Last time it was just all guys. We had one girl for a bit.
Oh shit.
Yeah, we didn't see her for a week because she was like, I mean, I'm not going to name her. She was like withdrawing from heroin.
Yeah,
so she was there to get clean.
Okay.
So for the first week we didn't see her because she was like, having a horrific time. So it was just all guys. And it was like masculine energy, all that kind of stuff, and it was good fun though. It was really, really good fun. But it was tough. The ceremonies themselves were really, really tough.
Yeah. What did you actually get out of that first retreat, and what brought you to the first one too? Honestly, we haven't even talked about this.
No, I suppose we haven't, have we? The first one was just curiosity.
Yeah.
Just like, I think maybe I just like wanted to give it a go.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like see what I don't know where I heard it. Like I'm assuming I heard it on a podcast or something, and it just always kind of interested me. And it was more to do with like, I'll try and figure out like the secrets of the universe, that kind of stuff. Go speak to God or whatever and figure out how the universe is made. But I quickly realised that there was a lot of kind of stuff in me that needed to be worked on. The main one really was kind of finding like an inner strength that I didn't know I had.
Yeah.
I went in, I was 26 when I went, and I never really felt like a man. I was like, when do I become a man? Like, I was just like, I always felt like a boy. I was 26. I had like a beer gut at that point because I was boozing all the time. And like, I kind of looked like a man, I guess. Like, but I never really felt like one.
Did you have the beard?
Not as good as it was now. Okay. I had hair at the time, I'm bald now. But
that's a choice though, right?
Sure, let's go with that. And I didn't really go in there being like, oh, I want to become a man. It wasn't that, but I left feeling like I was a man, and it was a cool step. It was like, I was resisting it the entire time. I was like, no, I don't want to do this. This is terrible, really uncomfortable feelings, all this kind of stuff. And there was like bits and bobs through there. The weird one, like, so after my second ceremony, like, I was kind of shown, like, you know, ayahuasca just tells you things you already know, right? And like, for me, it was like, it shows you certain things. So like, if you're like told something, if you're shown it, it's much more
in
effective.
such a different way.
Yeah.
Just keep going.
Yeah, and so like, I'd always sort of like struggled with like sadness. I don't want to say depression, but like I've always like had periods of sadness in my sort of, like from teenage years onwards, really.
Yeah.
And like the worst part of that was like the guilt attached to it. It's like, why the fuck are you sad? Like, you've got, like, I'm a lower middle class white English man, like straight English man. Like, it doesn't get much easier than that. If you roll the dice, I've rolled a 5. You know? Like, it's not 6, but it's not a 1. It's pretty fucking good. So like, what are you so depressed about? And then after that second ceremony, I was like, just shown in a way that like, it's okay to feel like that. You know, like you get told, you know, it's okay to not be okay, all that kind of shit. But then I was shown it in a certain way that it just kind of, I was like, oh right, and the penny dropped. And ever since then, I've never felt guilty. It was just like erased from me. It was like a file on a computer. It was just deleted.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was sick. So that was ceremony 2. And then there is just kind of, the last one was the big one. That was like overcoming fear. So I was just scared the entire time, and I nearly didn't drink the last one because my 4th ceremony, I remember it being really rough, and like I always had to leave the Maloka. I had to kind of sit by the toilets and just kind of like compose myself and talk to someone, not having a good time. And Stace, who ran Dreamglade, was like, he said to me that night on the 4th one after I'd come down, he was like, try and stay in the Maloka next time. And I just instantly was like dead negative, like, no, I can't do it.
Yeah.
Can't do it. And then I went back and kind of lay on my mat for a bit and just thought about it, and I was like, I just felt like shit, because not only was I kind of, to me, I was like failing at this kind of like ayahuasca thing, but also the one time Stace kind of like give me a bit of like a pep talk. I instantly just shoot it down and go, no, I can't do it. And then I end up having to leave the Maloka. So I nearly didn't drink, and I was like, you might as fucking well. You might as well. You're here. Just get it over and done with.
After 4 ceremonies, like what was that fear like, even like after 4 ceremonies, and like after you had also already gotten the things, like a really big thing from the second one, like what was?
So I don't think I'd kind of realised I'd got that big thing from the second one just yet. I'm not too sure, but like it was just kind of like, I wasn't comfortable being uncomfortable. That's kind of what it was, and it was kind of manifesting as fear, and it was, I just didn't want to be there. And like obviously we had like the diet stuff as well. I was just like, I'd been away, I'd been travelling for, there's a dog here now. I've been travelling for sort of the best part of 4 months. So I started in Cuba and I finished in Peru. So I just wanted to go home.
Yeah.
I was exhausted. Yeah, I've been in hostels. I've been doing way too much partying. Like I just wanted to go home. And so I just kind of wanted it to be over with. And I nearly didn't drink that last night. And I was like, just do it. You're fucking there. Just do it. It's 4 hours. Is it having a shit? No, she's just pissing. That's fine. I thought the dog was having a shit then. So I drank.
It's got to be a metaphor for something.
Yeah, I don't know what that. Well, I'm sure that'll come to me in my ceremony tomorrow. I was like, oh, that's what that piss meant. And I drank a little bit, and that's where Stace was like, this is why I'm drinking less here, because Stace was like, you're sensitive to this shit, just drink less. And I was like, okay, that will kind of make me feel a little bit better. And I remember it coming on, and it was quite nice. I remember it feeling like a sort of a culmination of the first 4 ceremonies, all the kind of like feelings from there. And it was like, they were all just kind of like dancing around me, which to me and you, that kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
To people listening, I might sound like a lunatic.
Well, I mean, you know, if they're listening to this podcast, they might be a little bit open. But
yeah,
like,
you're probably right.
I'm getting a hit to kind of go into some of the plant spirit stuff later. But
yeah, we can get onto the proper woo-woo shit later that I now fully believe. Like a lunatic.
Well, you are a lunatic.
Yeah, I've just completely.
There's other reasons.
And And I was like, oh, this is really nice. This is fine. I remember thinking, I was like, just get through this, and you can have some pizza. You know, you can have a wank. I've not been, I've not done that for a while. Just get through the night. What are you doing? And so yeah, it started off great, or well, quite nice, and then it all just like, it was like a cloud. I remember this like big dark cloud come in, and I was like, oh, for fuck's sake, like this is just going to be bleak now. And it was really grim, and Drew had kind of spoke to me, I think the day before, and like trying to give me that kind of, it's okay to feel uncomfortable, blah, blah, blah. And Drew sat with me for a bit, and he was like, remember what we said, it's okay to be uncomfortable. I was like,
During the ceremony?
During the ceremony.
Yeah.
Oh, I was sat, I'd moved as well, we'd moved that night, so I was right next to Raoul.
Gotcha.
And he's fucking loud.
Yeah.
Like spitting and loud. So I'm like front row, didn't want to be there. And I'd be like, okay, I'll be fine. And Drew got up to leave, and as he left, I went, no, I need you to, and I couldn't walk properly. I remember like I lost my foot, and Drew kind of like helped me out. And Stace was there, and Stace's nephew Dan was there, and he was really good through a few ceremonies, just kind of like talking to me and stuff. He's obviously from the UK as well. Shout out Dan if he's listening. And I was just sat there for ages, and I was like still fighting it, and I kept going between kind of like being okay and like just not being okay, and it was like. And I remember there being silence, and I was really, really scared. I was terrified. And I just said that to Stace. I went like, I'm scared.
Yeah.
I'm really, really scared. And I'm like, from memory, there was like a little quiver in my voice. I was like, I'm scared. and he goes, what are you scared of? I was like, I don't know. And he goes, what's the worst possible thing that is going to happen if you just sit with that fear? If you stop fighting it and you just sit in it, what's the worst thing that's going to happen? I don't know. So just do it. Okay. And that's when I did it. And I like, from memory, I think I was like that. I was like in like the fetal position, right? And I just like was so scared. I'd never been that scared. Oh shit, I dropped the mic. I've never been that scared in my life. Definitely not as an adult. Maybe as a child, I don't know, but like definitely as an adult, I've never been that scared of like of nothing, of just pure fear.
Well, it's, you know, it's you giving yourself the fear. Like,
Right.
It's not like this fear is like coming to creep in on you. Like, this is fear that had been there.
Absolutely.
Like, the fear was already there inside of you, and it was just now finally being like, hey.
Yeah, now it's time. It's time to shake hands. And so yeah, I sat there like head in my hands, and it felt like forever. And it like I remember like the fear going up and up and up and up and up, and then like it got to the point where it stopped going up, and it just kind of like plateaued. And then like that tiny kind of millimeter down, I felt that tiny bit of release. And I think I said to Stace, I was like, oh, I think it's like dropping, or I guess like I said, I think it's subsiding, which fuck knows where I got that word from, in that state of fear. And then with that, it just properly shot down, and all this kind of like energy flowed through me. Like, did you ever watch Dragon Ball Z as a kid?
Yeah.
You know when they go Super Saiyan?
Yeah.
It was like that. Like, I went like Super Saiyan. It was sick. So like I had all this energy fly through me, and like just that fear just like cast aside. And I remember I kind of like, I just understood everything. Drew said it was like his state of Satori, which is like a temporary state of enlightenment. I think it's a Japanese word. So I just did that, and I just kind of like understood everything. Like I understood myself. Everything was calm. Everything was so calm, and I understood myself. I was at peace. I understood the world. I understood my family, my friends. Like I remember breathing, and like it just felt so clean, and like it was amazing. And then I had this kind of realization, because I went into it being like, oh, I want to learn the secrets of the universe kind of thing. And like right at the end, it like a little drop in, like, I'm pretty sure that the meaning of life is to experience emotions, like particularly love. Oh, big one, that, isn't it? Look at that.
Man, I felt that in ceremony too.
Yeah? Like, good. I'm not crazy then.
Oh my God, yes.
I was talking to Kevin about this earlier, actually. We were having a chat, and we were talking about emotions and all that kind of stuff. And he was saying how, like, it's important we feel them and all this kind of thing. And it reminded me of that, and I mentioned that to him. He's like, exactly.
Yeah. Like, we're just supposed to, like, literally just be present and feel everything that's there. Like, I don't know. I see, like, the human body as and this is getting into, like, the woo-woo shit, but, like, as this, like, we're a vessel that is able to communicate, like, between realms and, like, between dimensions. And, like, what we do as this vessel is like the way that we do that is by feeling emotions. Like
Right.
that's it. Like it's like the energy that we can't see, that wants to come through, comes through us in the form of emotion. And all we need to do is literally just like be present enough to just feel what's there. And like that's fucking it. Like there's
Right.
literally nothing else. Like if you can just do that, you don't have to do fucking anything else in your entire fucking life. Like fuck what society says you have to get a job and you've got to do this. And no, like you don't have to do fucking any of that. You just have to fucking be there and just fucking feel emotions and just cry every once in a while.
Give me a few more ceremonies and I'll get that. But yeah, it was like, just going back to that before we kind of move on to where we're here now, like that inner strength, and like I said, it was a really masculine environment, and that like a lot of masculinity and a lot of masculine feelings kind of came from that, and kind of things I've taken into kind of my life now. Not that I wouldn't say I was feminine. I mean, I used to wear eyeliner and dye my hair black. I think that's a bit feminine, maybe.
Like, is that more of a goth thing?
Yeah, emo-y kind of shit when I was a
emo
teenager.
goth,
yeah. I still wear a lot of black now. Edgy. It's also slimming, and it's easy to
You are wearing a
accessorize.
hat and sunglasses in the shade, so
That's to look cool. And yeah, so I kind of like took away from that, and it was like a really big part of kind of. It was really impactful to me. Like I remember thinking, I think the best thing I've ever done in my life is go to university, because it would just completely change the trajectory of my life.
Did your parents go to university?
No.
Okay, gotcha.
So I was the first one to go to university in my family. My cousin was the first one to go to a real university. That's what I say. I went to like a shit tin pot university.
Okay.
He went to an actual university.
That's funny, because I look at my time in college, and like I when I look back, I can see how everything was perfect and needed to happen the exact way it did. But like if I were to, do my life over again at that point, no fucking chance I would do that.
Yeah, see,
like,
I think that as well.
Absolutely not. I learned nothing that I use in my day-to-day life. I got a degree in logistics management, which is like moving trucks and shit. And like I worked for like a 3PL, which is kind of like what you do if you get that degree, or do like warehouse management and work for fucking Jeff Bezos or whatever. But I did one internship between my senior year and then my fifth year, because I did an extra half semester, and I fucking hated that, and was like, well, I'm not gonna do shit with this degree other than say that I have a degree. But that being said, if I were to do it again, maybe I would go back to, we call it college in the United States. Not, I mean, obviously it is a university, but that's the proper term if you're from a normal place. But
I
like
the UK's a
I
normal
think I would have gotten a degree in like psychology or something, because I actually find that interesting. Like without thinking about like, how am I going to get a job and what am I going to do? It's just like, I think it's interesting to have studied that, and then still probably done all of the same things that I did, but just having that background instead of having a worthless background.
Right. I mean, I did something I enjoy, but it is quite worthless. So
Yeah.
I did politics and history.
Okay.
So I'm just like a history nerd.
Okay.
And the reason I did politics, so I was just going to do history, and this is like the brain of a 17-year-old. I was like, if I do politics, I mean, I was into like, in the UK we got like panel shows. They're not really a thing in America, where a bunch of comedians kind of sit around and make jokes, usually kind of like about the news and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So like I had an interest in politics through that. But my 17-year-old brain was, if I go to university and do history, that's one thing. But if I do history and politics and I start chatting to a girl on a night out, I'm going to sound way more intelligent if I'm doing both. And she's going to find me more attractive.
Yeah.
So that was my reasoning behind doing both.
I think that's a great reason.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. I mean, when I look back at my genuine experience in college, it was to try to get drunk and get as much pussy as possible.
Absolutely.
That was really the goal.
Yeah, that was all I was doing. Yeah.
And I wasn't good at it.
So I
was good at the drunk part.
Yeah, I was really good at that bit. Moderately successful, more successful than anyone with my like looks or personality should be when it comes to meeting women. Yeah, what we took? Oh, so Dreamglade was like the second behind going to uni, because uni was so like the chaos effect, chaos theory. It just really positively impacted my life.
Yeah.
And I was kind of content never doing it again. I was like, people were like, would you do it again? I go, I don't know, maybe. Like I don't feel like I have to go back. But then there was also never I'd close the door on it. And then
a lot of friends that I talk to that haven't done it and, that are still, moderately interested or whatever, one of their biggest fears, just knowing me, is that they're going to turn into me and that they're going to make this their whole fucking life. So it's nice to hear that first experience. You're like, no, I'm good.
Yeah. I mean, am I on the transformation? I've got 2 ceremonies before I leave. Am I going to end up like you before I leave?
Probably not.
No. How many ceremonies are you in?
Let's see. The first one here was 10. So 10, 11,
Okay.
12. I'm 13 in. By the time I leave, I'll have 15 under the belt.
Okay, so you're 4 ahead of me. So there's still time for me to catch up.
Yeah. I live here though, so.
That's true. Yeah. By the time we probably see each other again after this, you're going to be like 30, 40 ceremonies deep. Something more than that.
Like, or like none, or like after the ceremony, it's like, yo, fucking chill.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not like one of those
Which
things.
Which would really be bad for this podcast.
Yeah.
Really not.
He's got 3 pods.
Would really
and
not bode well for that. But.
Or you could just go. You said you're going to be like doing like Wachuma and stuff.
Yeah. I'll do some other sacred medicines and shit. Who the fuck knows what this is going to turn into down the line? You know what? I'm not.
Don't put any pressure on it. Yeah, exactly. Just do it for a laugh. Yeah. So that it was just. Maybe I'll do it again. Maybe I won't. I don't know. My now ex was like months after we kind of met up again. Like after I'd come back from traveling, she was.
So you were already together when you did it the first time?
Yeah, we had met. So I live in Canada now, but I was living in Canada at the time. We met there, and then my visa was up anyway, and we were kind of like, okay, we don't really know what we're doing. And then I'd kind of had all my traveling booked, and we were kind of in that grey zone of like, are we together, are we not, kind of thing. And then we were just like, let's just make it official, whatever. But then when I went back, so I flew back to Canada from there, met up with her for a few days, and then I took her to the UK, went to Prague, blah, blah, blah. And later on after that, she was like, you were fucking insufferable in those 2 weeks. Like, I wanted to just I wanted you to shut up. Like, all you would talk about was how great you feel from ayahuasca. You were so annoying.
That might have been red flag number 1. Looking back on it.
Maybe. I do get it though. It is like,
you got the secrets of the fucking universe and you're happy now? Go fuck yourself.
You do sound insane though.
Yeah.
And we'll get onto that in a bit. But so yeah, and that was my last time. And then I ended up here. I flew into Peru through the night, or not the Saturday, just gone the Saturday before that, through the night, landed Sunday morning, lost my seat to a dog on the flight down. I should probably explain that. So
Wait, this time or last time?
No, this time. Like
okay.
Flying in. Have I not told you this?
No.
You ever not? Okay, I've told a few people. Right, to get this. So, direct flight Toronto to Lima. Perfect.
That's fine.
8 hours through the night. I was like, absolutely brilliant. And now, on like long distance flights, I'll pay for like the front row. I call it King of the Peasants, right? So you're just behind business class. Window seat. get my head down. This is getting me sick. Get on my flight, well happy. And check my seats, like 5A. And I look, and like 5 is the row behind the row I booked. And so I said to the guy, I go, oh mate, I've booked this seat here, I paid extra for it, like what's the deal? He goes, oh, go speak to someone at the desk. So I go speak to someone at the desk, and I won't name the airline, but the guy could not give less of a shit. He's like, oh yeah, we've moved you. I'm like, what do you mean? Well no, I paid for this. What do you mean you moved? Oh, like head office has just like bumped you back one. Like, yeah, but I've paid for this, right? And I'm trying to, like, the rage is building, right? Yeah. And I'm like, don't cause a scene, it's not that big a deal. And he goes, oh, the head office have moved you back. And I go, why have head office moved me back? I paid for this seat. And he gives me a number. He's like, call them, they might give you a refund. Might.
That's how you know ayahuasca's working before you get to the ayahuasca retreat is when they give you shit like that to be like, you're about to deal with this. Like, yeah. This rage that's coming up, this pessimism, whatever the fuck it is, you're about to work on this.
Yeah, well, she did a good job giving it to me early. And so I said, why have I been moved back? And he looks at his little screen and goes, there's a dog in your seat. What the fuck? I didn't say fuck. I was like, what the hell do you mean there's a dog in my seat? Again, trying to keep it calm. And apparently the guy next to me had an emotional support dog that just needed my seat. And they moved me back to one of the emergency exit rows, so I still got my extra leg room, but so it wasn't too bad. And I was like, you know what? If the dog needs a seat, it's fine. Like, yeah. It's like worst can happen. But it was just like a dog is in your seat. No explanation.
You are worse than a dog.
Yeah, apparently so.
You're lower than a dog.
I'm lower than a dog.
I'm letting you know that right now.
An emotional service animal. Yeah.
So then you get here, and it was. You didn't tell me the story of like the fear before your last ceremony, the fifth one back at Dreamblade, but like now to me it's funny hearing you say that, and then also knowing what you were feeling like before your first ceremony here.
I was in Pukulpa, so I got there early Sunday afternoon, and like there's like the roads are fucked, and I'm like, if I just fall over and like snap my ankle, I won't have to go and go do ayahuasca, and I have an excuse for like not bitching out. Just like, and I was looking out my window, and there's like a little balcony. I was like, I could just slip out the balcony and break my arm. It's not going to kill me, because I just did not want to come. I did not want to be here at all. I was dreading it, absolutely dreading it. And then we had our first ceremony.
Yeah,
and began to dread it a little bit less. It was fine. It was a nice little like. The intention was just a nice little introduction, please. It's been 6 years, and it was cool. It was like dialogue heavy, just lots of questions, lots of cool visually kind of stuff. A lot of like sort of like warm feelings, nothing too crazy. When I left Dreamglade, I was like very much like I've got like I like to think quite a rational brain, and I was like, well, you're just in the woods taking drugs. And I asked, like, there was just this dialogue going on, just chatting. And I was like, you are real, aren't you? He said, yeah, I'm real. And I was like, okay, cool. Like, I now believe in a plant spirit. And there's loads of questions. I asked, like, so, like, what's your deal? So I was like, what's your deal? You're real. She's like, yeah, I'm real. I go, okay, like, did someone create you? She goes, no. Always been there? Yeah. Did you create the universe? No. Like, and then she goes, do you want to meet the creator of the universe? And I'm like, fuck yes, I do. And this like giant grey hand like reached down, and there was all this like mad kind of like religious imagery around it. I just couldn't reach it, and then the hand went up, and I was like, now's not my time. Maybe one day I'll meet the creator of the universe. But
she's just like teasing you.
Yeah, like, nah, not yet, mate. Not yet. Yeah, and I asked her, I was like, was it the right thing coming here? She was like, yeah. I was like, am I going to do all 6 ceremonies? Because I was thinking maybe I'll just do 1 and go, no, it's not for me, or do 3 and go, oh, no, fuck this. She's like, no, you can do all 6. I was like, okay.
I'm like,
fine.
God damn it.
Yeah, I was like, shit. And the ceremonies, so we had that one, we had ceremony number 2, ceremony number 3, and number 4. So I came with 3 different intentions. My intentions are now out, so I've got 2 ceremonies left, and it's like,
what were those 3 intentions?
So the third one was, I can't remember the exact wording, so I'll just have to give you the themes of it. It was a bit more kind of, there's a bit more to it. It's about loving myself.
Yeah.
Just complete unable to love myself.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Yeah.
It's tough.
It is tough. A lot easier now, I think.
Yeah.
A lot easier now.
I don't know if easy is the right word. It's more of just like, because that's been a big theme for me too, is like, just going like the layers deeper into loving myself. Like my first experience at Dreamglade, that was when I got the big like, oh fuck, I did not know what that felt like at all. I've never once felt that in my entire life, to love myself. And then I really like tried to orient my whole life around like making sure that I am loving myself and giving myself the self-love, and just realizing like this is the key. Like if the point of existence is to live and feel emotions, I need to be able to like love myself at the same time, and make sure that that's one of them that I'm prioritizing, and like giving that to myself. Whereas this retreat has just been going like layers deeper. It's not like, okay, like when you're fucking frustrated and want to fucking like, you know, light the world on fire, can you still love yourself? When XYZ happens, when you have no idea what's going on, can you still love yourself? Can you still meet yourself with that love? And it's been interesting, because I really didn't have actually like any solid intentions coming in here at all. It was just like I knew I needed to be on this retreat, and I knew I wanted to learn more from this great plant spirit that we now talk to and fully believe in, like a fucking lunatic.
Like a lunatic cultist. Yeah.
Yeah, and so but like it kind of became clear that like, you know, hey, we're gonna dive a little bit deeper into this self-love thing, and then into just the like love in general. And like making the choice to, and like this is why I say it's not easy self-love, especially, is that like it's always a choice that I have to make. It's not something that's just given, and she's not gonna just give me self-love and let me be all blissed out and fucking hippie love and light all the time. It's like really recognizing, hey, when these things happen, this is where you are not loving yourself.
And I think that's kind of like what, and we'll get on to like the next ceremony as well. Like I've realized, because I was going through this kind of like really like loving myself. So it came about because like we'll talk about, do you want to talk about the ceremony you had the night before as well? Like where you loved yourself and you,
yeah,
do you remember that? Because like it kind of feeds into mine.
Are you talking about the one where I was like, I'm Cam fucking Leeds? Like,
yeah.
You can just leave that down.
Just leave it there. Okay, cool.
Yeah, that first ceremony for me was like really stepping into. First, I had to know myself. Like first, it was like it goes awareness, acceptance, and then for me, then the next step is love. And so, like, you can't love yourself until you accept yourself, and you can't accept yourself until you're aware of who it is you actually are. So it was showing these like shadow parts of me, and these parts of me that I don't particularly like or didn't particularly like. And now I can actually pretty confidently say that like that I do. Not only do I like them, but I love these parts of myself because they have given me structure, and they've given me so many gifts that like I couldn't begin to explain. But like one of them specifically had to do with control. That I like, you know, I have a lot of trouble just being like, just, you know, just flow with the universe and like go with the flow and like, you know, let things happen. That's just not me. It's just a little, you know, it's a little hard for me to do that. I need some structure. I need some control. That was one of the parts that came up, at least like the most like kind of blaring one. And then, yeah, like I was literally like, she was like, this is who you are. Like, all of your demons, all of your shadows, all of this stuff, this is you. And like, be fucking proud of who you are. Cameron fucking Leeds. Like, be proud of that person, and like stand up and say it and just be like, this is me, and this is all my shit too. I'm not just the go with the flow and wanted to do this and like all of the joy and the happiness. I'm all of the darkness and all of the other stuff too. And be insanely, immensely proud of all of that in order to then really understand, okay, here are your strengths, here are your weaknesses. Now let's maybe start playing into the strengths instead of trying to fucking run from them and be somebody that you're not.
Right.
Yeah.
Sick.
Yeah, it was dope. What was that like for you?
So it kind of came on, and there was a lot of like swaying going on to start with, and I'm shit at sea. I've not got sea legs, and I felt like, oh, it's gonna make me sick. And then eventually, like, it felt like a crib being rocked, and I spoke to her at the start. I go, are we gonna talk with each other tonight? And she was like, no. Like, just straight up, like, it was very, like, business-like.
And this is your second ceremony?
This is my second ceremony, because the first one was very chatty. This one, it was like, no, I'm not talking. Very business-like, very professional. And I was like, okay, cool. And then I got a hug off her, and it was like, she's gone. She kind of pushed me out, and I'm on my own. And so I was in this crib, and I was like a baby, and I was like a baby getting love. This is great. And then I felt all this love, and I was like, oh, this is ayahuasca loving me. And then it clocked that it wasn't ayahuasca, it was coming from myself. And I just felt this like, this love pouring from myself, about myself. And I just started like bawling, I was like crying, it was amazing. And I'd seen your face beforehand in terms of like visual stuff. I saw like, it was definitely you, but it was like distorted. And it was almost like if you were like made out of sound waves, it was like that. And then after I'd kind of like realised that, I saw your face again, and you were just like grinning at me like you are now. And I was like, and it made me think, it was like, you said I'm Cameron fucking Leeds and it feels fucking amazing. And I was like, I'm Stephen Edward Thompson and it feels fucking amazing. And then I was like crying and shit, and like I was trying to like, so like the intention was like to love myself so I can be better for myself, my loved ones, and the wider world. And then kind of like with that, it was like, I was just giving the love out and all that kind of like passing all this love on. I hugged a friend of mine who's gone through some really dark stuff over the past few years. Just crying there as well, a lot of crying. And then like those overwhelming feelings would go away and it would go quite dark. Not like a sinister dark, but it's like all the light was gone. I knew that love was there, and it was like, I'm not going to feel like that all the time. There's going to be times where I don't feel like loving myself, but I have that love inside of me, and it can come out when it needs to. And then I was showing, it was shown in a different kind of way. So I started like sinking down really slowly into this like the depths. It was like a swamp kind of thing. It was a lot of like dark browns and blacks and dark greens, and it was like it's really quite claustrophobic, and it like swallowed me up. Like it's really like claustrophobic, quite a scary place. And I wasn't scared, which was great, but I was uncomfortable. I was like, oh, I don't want to be here. And I had the realization. I was like, this is where it leads you if you don't love yourself. This is what life is like. Oof. And later on, when I was sobering up a bit, I was like, well, maybe that's where I've been. You know, maybe that's not where I'm going to go if I don't love myself. That's where I've been for not loving myself. And I just had to sit there, and I didn't want to be there, but I knew just like seeing this place wasn't enough. I had to fully embrace it and have it surround me.
Sit with it.
Yeah, and it went on probably for like 5 minutes. You know, it probably wasn't even that long, but it felt like ages.
Yeah.
And then this kind of like white light. I always see ayahuasca as like white light. It kind of like opened up a little like crack in it and like slowly just pulled me back out of it. And then for a long time I just sat on top of this place, and that's where that realization was like, oh, maybe, you know, that's where I've been or whatever. And then it was sealed, like a bit of metal went over the top of it, and it was like welded shut. And I was just forced to look at it and be like, this place is still there. Just because it's sealed shut now, that seal can be broken, and it's always going to be there. And all it takes is for you to forget to love yourself, and you're back in that place again, and that's what your life's going to be. So it's like a warning in a kind of way. Like you had that really like beautiful kind of bit first, and then that uncomfortable bit after. And like usually, so like I was telling you about that Dream Glade experience, like that the reward came after the struggle, whereas it was flipped this time. And that's kind of, I took that as like, you don't need to earn love. I had the love first, and then the kind of the harsher bit second as a reminder. It was like I didn't have to earn that love.
Yeah.
I just got it because you need to love yourself.
Yeah. We're like born into this world as like these babies, and like all we know is love. Like we're born from that, and then very quickly we're taught like, okay, there's conditions here in which we're allowed to then receive this love and do that.
Absolutely.
And just slowly this shit starts piling on and building and stuff. But like that's like, it's the remembrance of the love that we come from, not you know, thinking that we do have to do anything to earn it. Like, God, that's such a good lesson.
Yeah,
so glad
like,
you got that.
Yeah, and it was great, and I was like, that's a cool way, because I don't have to be at this point in my life. I don't have to do X, Y, and Z to be loved. I mean, don't be a dickhead. Don't go out and be a dickhead and like still expect love.
Yeah,
but
well, it's because you know that, like, I mean, at least for me, it's like anytime if I'm being an asshole to you, what I'm really doing is being an asshole to myself in that moment. It's like everything that I do externally, all of that energy comes back to me, probably even more so. So like if I feel the need to be a dick or be an asshole or like, you know, fuck you over or whatever, all I'm doing is just fucking myself over in the process. Like all that energy is coming back to me, and that just means that's how I feel about myself.
Right.
So it's not even about like, you know, don't be a dickhead because you're not doing love. It's like, because then I'm being a dick to myself. Like, why would I want to do that?
Yeah, it's a good way of looking at it.
Yeah.
So that was the main takeaway from ceremony number 2. That love, and again, that reminder of that place where you can end up, or perhaps where I've been. That was ceremony number 2. Ceremony number 3 was, What
was the intention? So self-love.
This was about pessimism. So this was like,
so you got that
show me how to stop being pessimistic. like expecting the worst case scenario and thinking that bad things are just around the corner.
Mm.
I've always been really pessimistic in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Always. I don't know why, because my parents are really optimistic. Like, we'll kind of touch on it a bit when we talk about the last ceremony, but like, I don't know where a lot of this stuff comes from. I had a really good upbringing. I loving parents. They were together. They stayed together. You know, I'm sure they argued, but I never saw it. I'm sure that when they argued, it was behind closed doors.
Yeah, that's the opposite of me.
Really? Yeah. Right. Exactly.
But I also grew up pessimistic, though.
Right.
Like,
Okay.
yeah.
I mean, you had a bit of more of a reason to.
Yeah. See, here's the thing. Do you need a reason? Like,
no,
shit,
you probably
shit
don't.
just fucking happens.
Yeah, shit just fucking happens. You're right. And so I've always been dead pessimistic, and like it's always, I was always like, oh no, I'm a realist. I'm not a pessimist, I'm a realist. Like, that's just something pessimists say to make themselves feel better.
Dude, I used to say that same shit.
Yeah, it's just something pessimists say to make themselves feel better. I'm not fucking pessimist, I'm a realist.
Just fucking look around.
Yeah,
it sucks.
Exactly, right? Just fucking come on. And so that was the intention, and so the first bit of that was, so I asked in my first ceremony if like fear is going to come up.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so you're not going to fucking put me through that again, are you? So no, that's done. We don't need fear. Fear was used as a tool to get me where I had to be at Tree Blade. And then all this fear crept in, and it was like really scary. And I was like, I'll just sit with the fear, it's fine. And usually if you just sit with it, it goes away. And it didn't, and it carried on and got worse and got worse and got worse. And then I went, I am sorry for trying to trick you. Because I tried to trick ayahuasca going into this ceremony, because initially my...
Can't trick a plant spirit, man.
No, she knows everything. So initially my intention was going to end with something like, so I can see the beauty in life. Right? And I kind of overthought that majorly, which I guess goes into like the pessimism and worst case scenario theme of the intention anyway. And I was like, she's just going to kill me, make me think I'm dead, and go, oh, fucking, you appreciate life now. Like, and that's what I thought was going to happen. And I didn't want to go through that. And then later on in the night, so like when I apologized for trying to trick her, like it kind of like stopped, the fear just went away. I was like, oh, thank God for that. And then later on in the night, when I was kind of coming down, I was thinking about it, and she it felt like she possessed, this sounds fucking insane, right? It felt like she possessed me, because like out loud, I was thinking about it, and then out loud to myself, I just said the words, I was like, if you ever fucking try that again, or try something like that again, I will slap you around like you've never been slapped around before. I was like, understood? Yeah, and so that was all before the fucking Icaros even started. That was before the singing began.
So that's in the first 20 minutes of ceremony.
Yeah, and God knows how long it felt. Like that was the first 20 minutes. The main event hadn't even started yet.
Yeah.
That was just a nice, and then I went into that.
A proper intro.
Yeah, proper intro. I went into that ceremony, I was like terrified anyway. Something just felt off. Even like I could, where my mat was, I could see the lights in the corridor, and even they felt, it was like it wasn't as bright. I was like, that's not a good sign.
Mm-hmm.
And then when the Icaros started, really intense, like really, really, really intense, like visuals and kind of like overwhelming feelings, and like I tried to purge, and I couldn't purge, but like it was freezing as well. I couldn't get like, despite being in the jungle, it was freezing.
That was a cold fucking night. Yeah, it was this weird cold front that moved in, and I remember that ceremony, the second it started, I was like, I'm going to be cold this entire fucking time.
Yeah.
And I thought about bringing my sweatshirt that was just in my fucking tambo, and just didn't, because I was like, I'm a fucking man. It's not going to get cold. And then the second it started, I was like, I was fucking dumb.
Yeah, I wasn't like, I'm a man, I don't need it. I was just like, it's fine, it won't be that cold.
Yeah.
But like, I was saying, he was like, oh, I wish I brought my hoodie now. And I just couldn't get comfortable, like mentally or physically. I was tossing and turning, I was freezing, like I didn't know whether I was be sick or not. And yeah, it was just really overwhelming, like fast visuals. It was almost like scripture-y kind of things, really quick. But then I was going through like a lot of what I think people think in ayahuasca, or sort of like a plant like spiritual journeys. Like it's very like Native American themes, that kind of stuff. A lot of like oranges, a lot of like light browns, like being by fires. I felt kind of like, I mean, look at me, right? I'm not Native American, right? But I felt very Native American-y, that kind of thing. It was quite apart from it being like really overwhelming, that bit was really cool. And it just like, it really quickly, I was like, this is because you wanted it to be this way. You've been, what you were like, oh, those last two have gone too well. This one's going to be tough. You pessimism, it's going to be tough. And it's like, you created this, and with your pessimism and your worry, you've created this. And later on, when we had the coca ceremony on Sunday, I reflected on like that kind of how I'd created that, and I like just perpetually worrying about things, like worst case scenarios. Oh, what if this? What if that? And I was like, that's what worrying's like. That kind of, everything was like chaotic and quick, and I couldn't catch my breath, and I couldn't, like, I was like so, like away from reality. Like I was like in, like reality seemed weird to me. I was like, that's what worry is. Like you can't think straight when you're worrying, and you've got all this like chaos and shit going on that you created yourself. And that just went on for ages and ages, and then it kind of subsided a bit, and it all just got a lot brighter. And I saw the words in like, it was like a bluey, greeny kind of like bubble font. It said, "Things will get better." And like, I was like, yeah, things will get better. Things will get better in this ceremony. It's tough at the minute, but things will get better. And in life, in general, like when things get tough in life, things will always get better.
Yeah.
And it just, and with that, it kind of closed up, but there was like this sort of like slither of light, and then all the mad fucking chaos started happening again. And so I gripped onto that light, and I was like, when things get tough, you grasp onto that optimism that things will get better, and like you hold on to that, and eventually that will pull you away from all this darkness.
It's like the trust. It's it's not even like, it's not hope. It's literally just like it's a knowing. Like you know that things will get better, but it's so hard not to get attached to the shit and just be like, well, this is the rest of my fucking life now.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Get caught up in all the shit. It's very easy to get caught up in all that shit, but if you hold on to that hope or that trust or whatever it is, that little slither of light in the darkness, it'll pull you through.
It's funny how ayahuasca, like the way that she works and like gives you lessons. One, I'll never really truly know, but at least something that has come up multiple times is it's like, you know, help me deal with pessimism, for example. And it's like, here, I'll give you something to be incredibly fucking pessimistic about, and then see how you handle it.
Right.
Like, it's not like, oh, like, you know, just take the pessimism out of me. It's literally like, I'm going to show you all of the fucking ways that you've been pessimistic your entire goddamn life, you piece of shit. Like, and then being like, this isn't how I wanted to deal with this.
Yeah, this sucks. Why the hell would I want to live like this? This is awful.
Like, it makes you really realize, like, this is not just inside of me, like this is what I do. I'm doing this to myself.
And you hear from people, you go like, oh, you create your own reality, and that doesn't mean like, oh, I'm gonna manifest, you know, like a massive mansion and a car in fucking Sydney, Sweden, with my missus, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, huge car. Yeah, I mean, I'm trying with that one every day. It's not working. It's like it's that. It's like your mentality to things. You control your own, like the way you perceive the world. If you think everything's shit and it's going to be shit, everything is shit and everything is going to be shit. Like you look on like Reddit, and it's just like, go outside, man. It's not that bad. Like, go outside. Sit in a park, have a pint, like whatever you need. Just go outside and just realise that life is pretty fucking good. You know, like, yeah, it's tough, and yeah, things could always be better, and you always want more, and blah blah blah. But if you look at it like objectively, life is pretty fucking good. It could be so much worse.
We were talking about that this morning, and like I think I maybe used the term like your mind creates your reality or whatever the fuck, and like that's all, you know, hippie woo woo bullshit for just like whatever you choose to focus on, like that is what your reality is going to be. And especially right now, it's really easy for me when I scroll on social media or whatever the fuck and talk to my friends, especially the ones that are still in the States, and like things seem pretty bad right now. If you watch the news, things are terrible. Things are truly fucking awful. There's just bad things happening constantly. I don't watch the news.
Yeah.
That was a choice I made. It's like I'm just not gonna watch this. And some people, even like friends of mine, are like, well, you're not informed. I'm like informed about fucking what? Like,
Yeah,
what do you mean? What do I need to be informed about?
all you're getting
Life's
from
pretty
the
goddamn
news.
good for me.
Yeah.
Like, why don't you come over here? I'm not going to go over there. You step over here.
And the news will never show you like good things.
No.
The news will never show you like, I don't know, like a bunch of orphans getting like, like new toys or blankets or whatever, or someone helping like an old lady cross the street, and these little like small acts of kindness that are the things that you can control in your life. Like, I'm not going to be able to stop bombs being dropped on civilians. I can't do that.
No.
But I can help people in communities. I can, even as something as like,
I can just smile at a stranger.
Smile at a stranger. Like, I'll always like in Toronto, like on the TTC, the trams, the streetcars they call them. If there's like an old lady, give us your bags. Or like just little things like that. These little acts of kindness can go a long way.
That's the way to do this. Like, I've definitely spent a lot of time thinking about like, the actual horrific things that do happen in the world and all of that. And like, one, the realization that horrific things have always been happening around the world since as long as humans have existed. There's never once been a time of fucking world peace or, whatever the fuck. But like, it's not, we can look to these like public figures and political offices and governments and shit like that and be like, I know you have the money and the resources to do something about it. Why aren't you doing it? But like, it's not going to be a top-down approach. It's a bottom-up approach.
Absolutely,
it's everybody down here making the conscious choice to be like, you know what? Fuck that. Fuck them. I'm not going to live like that. I'm going to be a good goddamn person.
Absolutely.
And you don't have to become a fucking ayahuasca facilitator and start doing this and start, taking plant medicine and fucking, bathing naked every single day in the sun and bathing your asshole, whatever the fuck. Like, all you need to do is literally just like try your best to be a good person.
Yeah.
And not expect anything in return.
That's what I was going to say. Like, and like, you never expect anything. Like, because if you're doing good things, so good things happen to you, you're not doing good things. Like, you see them people like film themselves giving like homeless people like $20 or whatever. I'm like, you're a piece of shit, man. Like, you're just like, you're not how you're like, yeah, you're giving this person $20, but you're doing it for like, so you can get views on YouTube or whatever. Like, I don't have cash anymore. So, but like when I was a bartender, I'd have cash. I just used to just give money to homeless people all the time because I just had cash lying around.
Dick.
Yeah, I know. What an arsehole. I once, this is me sucking myself off here, like it was freezing in Canada, and I just said to this person, she was a woman, maybe like, and I was like, how much do you need so that you don't have to be out here right now? And it was like, I don't know, like $20. All right, there's 25. Go get a room, go get coffee.
That's beautiful.
So now everyone can tell me how good a person I am. But yeah, like
for the views.
For the views, exactly. But it's just little things like that, man. Like just those small things that, like, I was talking to a friend of mine who works for I was telling you about him this morning. He works for like a human rights charity, and I was saying, just like, I just feel so helpless because I can't do anything. At least you're like doing X, Y, and Z. And he's like, do small things in your community. That's where you can make an impact, and that's what we should be doing, I think. And whatever that may be, something like you said, just even like smiling at a stranger, maybe that person just needs someone to smile at them that day. Maybe they've had a shit day, and someone smiling at them just gives them a little pep in their step. Maybe that's what you need.
Yeah. It's funny, your third ceremony being like, okay, I want to deal with this, like, pessimism thing. Me going into my third ceremony, for me, what had been coming up for me the past, couple of days was like this anger that's inside of me, and like, from whatever the fuck, it doesn't even really matter, but just like there is this anger that's inside of me, and I was like, okay, I'm ready to let this anger go. And then she just wasn't really giving me anything, and it just made me so angry. And I just
Nice.
I didn't understand it at the time, but I thought that like, okay, maybe I need to just get really, really angry and do this. And so I literally started getting angry. I was like screaming on my mat, like, like why isn't this going anywhere? Like I want to let this go so bad. I want to do this so bad. And just the whole night, I was just literally like sitting in anger and sitting with my own frustration and filth and like garbage and I was still kind of pissed off after the ceremony. I was like, that was not at all what I fucking wanted. I wanted to let it go. And then it was, afterwards hearing everybody share and reflecting on it more, that's like, oh, she was just showing me how I'm the one that's making myself angry.
Right.
like the anger, nobody's giving me the anger. Like it's not, just there. It's a learned behavior that I've been doing to myself the whole time. So it's just like, next time you want to get angry, just choose not to. Just choose love.
Yeah.
Just do that.
That'll get brought up in my next ceremony, actually. We'll finish off this one. This is where like the whole optimistic warrior thing came from. And so during all like the mad shit, I kept hearing like, you want to be a warrior, this is what you got to do. If you want to be a warrior, you've got to go through hardship. And I just kept thinking, I was like, when have I ever said I want to be a warrior? I don't want to be a fucking warrior. Like, I want to go to war. For the longest time, I wanted to join the army. I come from an army family.
Yeah.
And then when I thought about it, I was like, no, I fucking don't.
Absolutely
He
not.
sounds awful.
Yeah.
It sounds fucking terrible. So yeah, and I was quite confused. I was like, when have I ever said I want to be a warrior? And then sort of like after the kind of like something else happened, and then like it kind of died down a bit. And I was kind of reflecting on it. So my favourite part, because I'm drinking less because I'm scared. I'm down before everybody else. But my favourite bit is that so after about 2 hours, it's all the mad shit is done, and then I've got about half hour, 40 minutes of still tripping, but I'm coming down, and like that's when I can start piecing it together, and that's my favourite bit. And I was thinking afterwards, in fact, no, I would have still definitely been tripping at this point, but it had calmed down a bit, and I was like thinking, I was like, fuck, I did not feel strong there. There was like that strength that I've been showing before. I did not feel that at all. And that's when that kind of the realization of like, that's what pessimism does to you. It makes you weak. It stops you realizing your full strength and your full abilities, and leading the best life you can, because you're always waiting for something to go wrong. You're always worrying about something. You don't take that risk. You don't come to Peru and do drugs in the jungle. You don't chat to that girl at the bar because she might laugh at you. Whatever. Like it's.
You don't do stand-up comedy.
You don't. I mean, I don't want to be optimistic about that one. Don't. I won't do stand-up comedy because I won't be laughed at. And then I just kind of thought about it. I was like, yeah, fucking optimism. And then there's this kind of like, oh, you got through that really tough bit. You said like, you wanted to be a warrior, and then this kind of like they kind of came together, and I kept hearing the optimistic warrior, and I was like, that's me. Like, I'm not going to go to fucking Afghanistan and fight in that war, but like modern life warfare, if you want to call it that. I can fucking smash it.
You're doing your best.
Yeah, life is tough, but I'm tougher.
Yeah.
And I kept getting this feeling, and it was sick, and it was like I felt like I'd been like knighted or something. I was like becoming a Jedi.
Yeah. What was the thing that Kevin said the next morning to you in the share circle?
So I was talking about that, and he was talking about this kind of like warrior thing where, you have two types of warriors. You have the warrior who always has his sword drawn and he's expecting attacks, and he's always on edge that something's bad's going to happen. He's got his weapon out and ready to go. And then you have the other warrior who has his shield, and he has faith that his shield will be enough to just protect him with wherever he's going, and just whatever's coming at him, his shield is enough. But he also has his sword and will draw it when he needs to draw it.
Yeah.
So I was like, that's a really sick analogy. That's really cool.
Yeah.
So I've been thinking about that a lot. And optimistic warrior, I was trying to think if there's anything else from that one. I think that's really the main takeaways from the third ceremony. Yeah. And then we had the weekend, which was nice because that was rough, that ceremony.
Yeah.
It was rough.
I agree. I think everyone kind of had a pretty rough third ceremony going into the weekend. That week again, like she works the way that she needs to, and to like give everyone, let's give them some fucking challenges right now and make them actually fucking sit on this. Mm-hmm. Like for 2 whole days, nothing to do. We had the coca ceremony, which was really awesome.
Yeah, it was sick.
And then everyone will be nice and well rested going into the last ceremony, or going into the ceremony we had yesterday.
And that ceremony was the first time I think ever that I've gone into one looking forward to it. Like when I was saying to you, like when we first got here, like last Monday, and I was terrified. And you were like, yeah, this is sick. I can't wait. I'm like, this man is a psychopath. Like, this man is unhinged. Why are you like dead excited about this? This is fucking awful. And I didn't have that. I was like, I'm the optimistic warrior. I'll go in.
I got this.
I know. I'll go in with, it's going to be sick. It's going to be great. And if it gets tough, I'm stronger. I'm fine. And something you said quite helped, actually. You said, you know, like healing doesn't always have to mean suffering, or maybe I've butchered your
Maeve said, healing doesn't have to hurt.
Healing doesn't have to hurt,
Yeah.
right? And that kind of resonated with me for a bit. And yeah, and so going into that ceremony, I was like really excited, really, really excited. Because I was like, and I was kind of like relishing tough bits as well. I was like,
Yeah.
you're going to fucking smash it, son.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to be fine.
I got this.
Yeah, exactly. And
Bring it on.
And so I went in with all this optimism and all this hope and all this kind of like, and so this was where the last intention came in. So the last intention, this was the one that I almost didn't bring to the table, because me and my therapist worked on, I had a list that I kind of put together ages ago before, and I went through it when I first spoke to my therapist, and then the last session we had before coming out here, I said to her, I was like, right, I need you to help me refine this.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what am I taking to this retreat?
Mm-hmm.
And so it was those two, and then this one. We realised that these three things impact everything else that I wanted to work on. And this one was, I've always had this kind of like all or nothing mentality, and I always assumed it was just to do with like impulse control. I could never just have one beer. It would have to be fucking 10 beers.
Yeah.
You know, like anything like that.
That's how I used to be.
Yeah. Fuck living like that now. I can barely have one beer now and not be hungover.
Yeah.
But as I kind of went on and speaking to her, she made me realise that it's everything in my life. Like, even something as simple, I was saying, I want to look at my phone less at night because it's just like distraction. I want to sleep better and blah, blah, blah. And she's like, okay, what can you do to help that?
Mm-hmm.
And the first thing I went to was, you know, I could get like a safe, time lock it, and put my phone in the safe. And she's like, do you think there's a middle ground somewhere? I was like, I could just leave it in another room. She's like, yeah, maybe just leave it in another room. So, and it kind of made me, like, everything in life is like that. So it was kind of like, well, this was the intention now. It was, help me tame my all or nothing attitude so that I can be a better person, more balanced, and enjoy life more.
Yeah.
So that was it. And I was just really excited. And then it kind of came on, and I was like, are we going to chat today? And she's like, yeah, we'll chat
Does
today.
it still come on for you, like before like right when you drink it? Is it just like there?
So it's like it's probably about 5-10 minutes and it comes in.
Wow.
Yeah, really quick. And then
it takes me a little bit to get into it.
So she's got a lot to cram in.
Yeah, that's true.
Less.
You are taking a little pussy dose.
Yes,
So.
exactly. But like before the Icarus, so like it's there and she's there, but then when the Icarus comes in, it's like that's when it all kicks off. And I was just kind of like, yeah, like we're gonna talk. It's like, yeah, we'll talk. Like it went back to like really chatty. So like the past two obviously not been chatty at all. And I can't remember. Your timelines are always fucked up on this because it's just like so confusing.
And it's so much all in one thing.
So
and it's like, well, wait,
like,
when did that happen?
Or did that like?
It's like, it doesn't matter.
And so like, it was. So before that came in, I was thinking about. I kind of like sat up straight, like my posture, and I was like thinking about how I like hold myself, and like I hold myself, but I never used to.
Now I'm like,
yeah,
God, I've been slouching this whole time.
But I used to like head down, kind of like just shit posture, shit kind of like the way you're projecting yourself, like weak, I guess. And like I hold myself quite well now. I try to. And I was thinking about that, and I was like, I'm really proud of myself, like how I've made all these like steps. Like I'm still a million miles away from where I want to be. In all kinds of aspects of my life, as a man, in a professional life, you know, like all these kind of things. But I'm making small steps, and I should be proud of every single step. I don't need to have that everything, you know. And if I'm not where I am, then I'm fucking nothing. It's not that. It's like a slow build.
And also too the realization that, you know, once you get to that place too, all you're gonna do is just think about the next place that you want to go.
Absolutely.
You're not gonna get there and then be like, this is great. It's like, you know, no, that's not how it works. It's you have to learn to be okay with exactly where you're at, before you get the things. So then when you really get the things, you can be like, oh my God.
But also appreciating like the success you made. Like you were saying, like you never give yourself credit for kind of things you've achieved.
No.
And like I'm the same at work. Like
Yeah.
work, I'll be like work is just like management. Everyone are like, oh, you're doing so well, blah blah blah. And I'm just like, it's literally my job.
Yeah.
I'm not doing anything, out of the ordinary.
Yeah.
It's literally my job. But I look at it and I go, oh, actually, yeah, I am doing well. And,
Fucking killing it.
oh yeah, exactly. So there was that, and then. And I realised as well, she was like, oh, what, you don't want to talk to me tonight? I was like, no, I'll talk. I just don't really have anything I want to ask. Like, when I wanted all those secrets of the universe at Dreamglade, I was like, they're so irrelevant now. Like, you need a bit of mystery in life, don't you, to keep it interesting. But I realised as well, like, the place where I was at, that I realised was, like, the balance. Like, it was the exact same place I was in on Friday, but everything was slower and calm. It was the same visuals, it was the same place, but everything was a lot slower and calmer. And I was like, this is what being optimistic is.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have that worry in your head. You created that pessimistic world.
Yeah.
And now you created, it's the exact same world,
Yeah.
but everything's easier because it's optimistic.
That's like the exact same thing that essentially happened to me is like in this yesterday's ceremony. I was in the exact same place with the exact same discomfort that I was feeling on Friday. But I made my intention. I was like, it was just more like, one, just like, give me whatever the fuck you want to give me. But I'm going to let you know, I'm going to have fun tonight.
Yeah.
And that was it. It was just choosing, like, I'm going to have a good time while I'm going through this. But it was the exact same place, exact same stuff. And now all of the lessons were able to come through and stuff. But, like, it's literally just that shift.
It really is. It's just a mindset shift.
Yeah.
And you're in the exact same realm, but everything's completely different.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really shit with patchos. I used to smoke cigarettes and now I don't, but I'll have a few drags and put it down. Jungle ciggies, I've been calling. I was saying to my mate, I was like, I was set or bifters, jungle bifters. I was saying to my mate, I was coming in, I was like, yeah, get a fucking smoke. It's gonna be sick.
This is sacred tobacco, by the way. This
Yeah.
is not a cigarette. This is sacred fucking tobacco.
Yeah.
This is medicine. And I say that, sort of with like a joking tone, but like
It
this
is.
is actually
Yeah.
medicine. Like this is so much different and so much just feel like it actually feels good is the thing.
Yeah,
like I mean, sometimes maybe my throat can hurt a little bit.
My
whatever
throat
the
is
fuck,
hurting
but
now.
like, but the feeling is actually like there's this spiritual feel to it. And so, especially just because I have been smoking these on the podcast and stuff, like they're gonna be like, what? They're talking about all this and they're fucking smoking cigs the whole goddamn time.
And like,
the fuck? One, I can do what the fuck I want to do. I can still have a beer if I want to. Like I'm not all crazy like that, but I do choose to use this as medicine and just watch myself.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then there was just kind of like that felt quite quick. That kind of like realization. I was like, okay, what else are we going through tonight? And so like the divorce kind of got brought up, and like all this kind of like shame and guilt and like sadness I'm carrying around for my role.
When did that happen? Like where you knew like, okay, shit, we're getting divorced. Like how long ago was that?
That was November. I moved
November.
out. Yeah.
Got it.
And it's June now.
Yeah. Holy
And,
shit, it's June.
Yeah, I know. And it was. And I kind of had the realization, I was like, well, I've just got to let that sit. And then there was just like silence, and I go, should we just deal with it now? She went, yeah, let's deal with it. And I saw them, like, they was like visualized, they were like these big kind of like circular slab kind of things. And I just kind of sat around all these like really uncomfortable emotions, and they just kind of like, slowly started to like melt or like disappear.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm like forgiving myself for my role. I'm not saying that what I did was good, and maybe it'll take her longer to forgive me, but I didn't do anything bad. I didn't cheat on her or anything. Like I wasn't like abusive or anything like that. But I was, just all your viewers are like, what's he done? Why is he not telling us what he's done? It wasn't that. It wasn't like it wasn't a nasty breakup. As breakups go, it was like it was just very sad. We just grew apart as people. And,
Yeah.
But I definitely could have been better.
Yeah.
Definitely. And the realization that I was actually a problem in this relationship came way too late.
Yeah.
I was just like, no, it's fucking you. It's definitely not me. definitely was me.
Yeah.
Or I had a role in it.
There's always
It takes two to tango.
I think it's there's always two parts. You
Absolutely.
know? My parents got divorced when I was really young, and shit, I don't know if they've ever really come to that conclusion that it was fully accepting each of their parts in all of that. I don't know how much they think about it. Hopefully not much anymore. But at least growing up, I was like, you guys both suck.
So yeah, and I sat with that, and it kind of went away, and I thought about kind of like the pain that I was responsible for and all that kind of stuff, and I said, let me see it. Let me visualize what that looks like.
Yeah.
And it was like this sludge just started fucking coming out and like wrapping around, and I just watched it all come out, and I was like, this is what I'm capable of doing. I'm capable of being a bit of a cunt. Like, sorry to your American listeners, I know you can't use that word anymore.
I love that word. I think America needs to bring that word back. It's so good.
I was having a conversation with someone, a girl, and I was like, bitch is a way more misogynistic word than cunt.
100%.
Because I call everybody a cunt. And like, not even like bad people. I'll just be like, what's that cunt doing over there? I just mean like just people. Like, oh, and then the cunt.
It's a term of endearment.
Yeah, like people, like, yeah, term of endearment. Like, you know, if I'm talking about like footballers I love, I'm like, oh yeah, the cunt scored 25 goals this season. Like, I just use it like that. And like, but like with bitch, I would only ever use that word to A, describe a woman,
Yeah.
or B, call a man that if they're being a bitch, which is like, or like being a pussy or whatever. Like, such a stupid way of using it. Anyway, and I was looking at all this like pain and all this horrible shit that I'm capable of, and I was like, where's this come from? And it comes from anger. And like, I joke with my family that I have the Thompson rage. It's just something that's in it. It's like my granddad, who's sadly no longer here, I only ever remember him being the sweetest man in the world.
Mm-hmm.
If you ask my dad and my uncle that, they're like, that's bollocks. He was an angry man. My dad had a lot of anger as well. He was an angry man. And
it gets passed down.
Yeah, exactly.
It's genetic.
I think it is. Yeah, I think it is. And I clocked that was the thing. And I was like, and I was trying to think, I was like, where does that anger come from? Because you kind of get, like, you're told that things happen to you that make you certain ways. You know, oh, something happened in my childhood that must make me think this. And like, it didn't. It was just there. And it doesn't matter where these things come from. Like, it doesn't matter what the source of like the anger is or whatever, or where it begins. What matters is where it ends.
Oh.
I know, deep.
Oh.
I know, what a quote.
And clip that the fuck up.
And like all these kind of like, you know, negative emotions, you want to call them that, like, or cycles or behaviors or whatever it is, it's like, it doesn't matter where it starts or where it's taking you. When are you going to make it end? And I had that realization. I was like, ah, cool. And I just kind of like saw this, and it got wrapped up in a box, and I just had to sit there like kneeling next to it. And then it just kind of slowly just went away. And I think this was when it was. I kind of picked it up and just put it in a bin. I was like, it's gone. Not saying that I'm not going to get angry.
Yeah.
Because then afterwards, I said to her, I was like, right, how do I manage my anger? How do I control it? Because I can be quite quick to anger and quite sort of like spiteful and cutting if I want to be. And she just went, you gotta figure it out. You gotta figure it out yourself. You gotta figure it out yourself in the real world.
Yeah.
You know?
The beautiful thing too about this medicine and any of this work that we do is like, you don't deal with all of the things and like come to these like, you know, circular outcomes during ceremony where it's like, oh, I dealt with that and now it's gone. It's like, here you go. Where the real work starts is once you leave.
Absolutely.
Once you get outside of here, this is where, like now, but like now you're so much more aware that it's there. And like, even back to the anger thing with me too, it's like during that ceremony where I was getting all angry and frustrated, it was just like, this is a choice. You're making this choice to do this right now. But like, it's not like that anger's just gone and it's not there. Oh, it's gonna come up again. I fucking know it. But now it's being able to recognize when it does, and hopefully much more quickly be able to be like, I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm gonna do this instead.
Yeah. Remember that sludge. Remember where this anger leads you.
Remember how terrible that felt when we were doing that?
Yeah.
Let's not do that.
Yeah, I don't want to do that again.
Yeah.
I don't want to be that person. And there were a few other things, excuse me, she kind of, like, was like, figure out yourself. I can't remember what they are now. But there was a few other things where it was just like, figure out yourself. I'm not going to give you the answers. Like, you know this here, make your own decisions.
Yeah.
And I can be quite indecisive, so that's probably quite a nice little, an easier lesson. It's like, just figure these things out yourself, mate. Like, I'm not going to give you...
You have the tools. It's
Yeah.
like, again, like, I feel like this whole thing for you, too, has also partially been about being able to trust yourself and know that, like, yeah, things are going to get bad. Things are not always going to be perfect all the time, but I can handle it.
So that brings me nicely onto my next point. Good little segue there. And the final point of this one was the things were great and fun and nice, and like I wasn't expecting for things to go wrong. I wasn't like, oh, things are going well, that means she's gonna fucking kick me in the ass in a minute, like that. But then twice certain things happened. So one time in my first ever ceremony, there were these two birds I was flying with, and they had like ribbons for tails. I think one was pink, one was blue, and there was like this mad sky, and they were going somewhere, like a border was about to be crossed, and I was like, sick, where's this going? I don't want to go with them, I wanted to go with them. And then any time I was about to cross that border, I would just think, I was like, are you still breathing? And then I'd have to go back into my body and check it, and that repeated. And it's one of them things that I've always wondered. I was like, what was on the other side of that border? And I asked her in the first ceremony, and she just showed me a bunch of dragonflies. So I don't know what that means. And then I asked again, and she didn't really give me anything, but I thought about that feeling of not being able to breathe, or like, was I still breathing? And I go, what's my body up to now? Because again, I was so far away from like reality. I was so in like the medicine space. Like, I knew reality existed, but it felt so weird. And I just like kind of going back to my body, and my body, like, it just felt off. Something felt very strange and off, and like weirded me out, and kind of like this like fear set in. And I was like, it's fine. Sit with that fear. Like, you are the optimistic warrior. You're fine. You're optimistic that everything's going to go through it, and like you're strong enough to get through this like tough period. And I just kept saying that to myself, and then it slowly went away. And then there was another time where what's your dieta this week? It's not the same as mine, is it? The Plant of Life or whatever it's called.
No, mine this week is one called Niue Rao. But last week we were on the same one, Bobensana.
Yeah, Bobensana. Yeah, I'm on a different one. I'm on, I can't remember what it's called. Like the
Planta de Vida.
Planta de Vida, there we go. So I'm on that, and I'm pretty sure, in fact I know because he told me afterwards, like there was another time where there was just overwhelming like colours of like gold and black, and it felt very like pressure on me, and like just like really sitting on me. And then there were these like insects, I think because I saw a giant spider behind me at one point, and I was like, fuck off. And then I think that's what triggered that thing. And then it was just like I said, really heavy, and all these like bugs, these aggressive bugs, like massive, like kind of like fly like creatures, big red eyes, were just in my face, like really aggressive. And I was like, get fucked. Like did I get my sword out at that point and start swinging? I'm not too sure, but I got rid of all these flies, and I am the optimistic warrior, that kind of shit. And they went away. And then afterwards, like I had this like power again, and like so when the whole warrior thing last time, like I said, it was all very like Native American theme kind of stuff, and I felt like that. Whereas this time it was almost like Viking-y, or I had this like massive shield there, and I had a massive fucking like broadsword, and I was like gold armor, or it was all gold armor everywhere, and I was like, this is fucking sick. And I had this black, no, not black, like a golden owl. I see owls a lot. I just think they're cool. I've got an owl tattoo there. I just think they're cool. But I saw this owl, and I was like, are you the spirit of this Plant Vida, life of Planta de Vida? And he was like, yeah. I was like, cool. I was like, did you fuck me up earlier? Is that what that was all about? And he was like, yeah, that was me. I was like, oh, cool, fine. Like, I still think you're pretty cool, though. And in terms of like kind of and what I realised there is like, you go through all this like healing, but it's also like what you said was like tools. It's like training. So these two situations came out of absolutely nowhere. I wasn't thinking they were going to happen. They just happened. And that's what happens in life. Things can be going so well, and then all of a sudden you get hit with something. And it's fine to be hit with something, but then it's how do you respond? How do you get back up? Who are you? Remember who you are, and you stand back up again.
Oh, another great quote. But facts though.
But yeah, and so there was that, and then and so in terms of like the kind of the big overall picture, the big themes, there was that was the last one. But I've been thinking about this one a lot more as well. And that last one, I'll just touch the mic there. Sorry. And one of the lads was doing their Icaros, and that compared like Lydia is like a hit factory.
Mm-hmm.
They're you pop in, they're like groovy tunes.
Mm-hmm.
You go, they're a bit fucking dour, right? And I was like, oh god, another fucking depressing one, Jesus. And then I thought to myself, like, why does it have to be depressing? Like, why is it like you're just saying it's depressing because it's a bit slower, it's a bit more somber. I was like, fuck that. Like, and I focused on the song and I visualized it. And then it started like a snake charmer, like moving up like that. And then this like monkey appeared. And it could have been because we were like hanging. Did you get a picture with Tupac?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, sick. Tupac, the orange howler monkey. It was probably that kind of triggered it. But this monkey was just like dancing.
Mm-hmm.
I was looking at this monkey. I was like, this is fucking awesome. This monkey kicks ass. And I imagined Sean, so like we're separated by the door, but he's to my left. And I imagined him like reaching out to me to try and tell me or speak to me. And I just went, not right now, mate. I'm watching this monkey dance. Mm. And then the monkey came back later on. And I just started laughing because I felt like Homer Simpson. I'm like, I was watching the dancing monkey. I'm like, this is what Homer imagines, is like monkey stuff. And she said to me earlier on, because I was like asking about all like, oh, what the next ceremonies, and it was kind of, she gave me a little bit because I said it can be quite difficult to be present. So I'm like, are we doing that today? She goes, no, that's the next one. I'm like, cool. And I was asking a few things, and she was like, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. You're fine. And it was kind of a little teaser, I think, because instead of like thinking about anything else, like the second time, I was just watching this monkey dance, and I was just loving it. And like, it just made me think, because we were talking in the share circle earlier, and Ben was like, oh, it could be this energetic thing or whatever. And I was just thinking, I was like, maybe it was just a monkey dancing, you know? Maybe that's all it was. And sometimes, you know, like with all the shit going on in your life and all this kind of stuff, you forget to be present and enjoy what's going on. And sometimes you just need to watch the monkey dance and enjoy it.
Dude, and just like grabbing onto those little moments of joy and allowing yourself to feel that joy even when you're in the shit. Mm-hmm. Like even when you're going through it, trudging through the mud. Yeah. You know, look over there and see like a pretty bird and be like, wow, that's a pretty bird.
Sick, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. Sometimes, yeah, just watch the monkey dance. Yeah. And enjoy it. And that's it in terms of the 4 we've done here.
That's it?
That they're the sort of the big points, yeah. Yeah, 2 more ceremonies.
How you feeling?
Sick, I can't wait.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
The next one I think is going to be, I'm going in with no expectations, but it's just like dealer's choice, like you do whatever you want, but I think it's going to be about being present in the moment.
Yeah.
And, you know, if that's going to be tough at times, because I said to her, I go, when she's like, don't worry about like the ones, I go, are they going to be tough? Mm-hmm. And she's like, she was like that, I'm like, but I'm tougher. And she went, yeah.
Yeah.
And I go, are you going to put me through what you did on Friday? She goes, no. Like that is done. Like that's going to be your worst one. And I made a promise because she said some things on Monday that I don't really want to talk about now, but in the 4th ceremony turned out to be like bollocks, but a nice surprise. Yeah. It was a really pleasant surprise. And I was saying to her, you said that wasn't going to happen. She goes, yeah, I know. Yeah. Yeah. And I was like, but you promise it's not going to be like Friday? She goes, no, that's going to be the hardest one you're going to have to do this time around. Yeah. So I'm going into it like sick. And if it's going to be tough, almost like I said, like almost relish in it. Because like when it gets tough, I can like prove to myself, I'll fucking get through this.
I got this.
Fine. Yeah.
That's awesome, man. So like, I think we're kind of wrapping up here, but I guess like the last question is, and this is something we touched on at the beginning, but like, you know, have you really sat with the fact that you now fully believe that you talk to plants?
Yeah, I think so. I was talking to Kevin about it earlier because so there was something I forgot to mention earlier in that pessimism one. It was like there was a dawn like pessimism picks up on energies and optimism picks up on energies, and you've got to go the right path to pick up on the right energy. So I now believe that there's a plant spirit. At least one. Well, I suppose I spoke to some others. Multiple plant spirits. I now believe in them. I believe in like energies. So I need to go away and read about this. And it's like I've been saying for a while, I feel like there's kind of something missing in my life that like a lot of people get with religion. I just think religion's like it's not for me. I think if it brings comfort to people,
It's not for me.
No, I'm not going to go. It's bollocks, because if it brings comfort to people, who is it for me to say that it's bullshit? But I've looked at it and go, it's not for me. I'm not a religious person, but I have felt like a kind of a void in that aspect of my life. And I'm guessing this is it then, like spirituality, like learning more about that. And she said to me in the first time, when I was like, oh shit, I actually believe in you. She's like, I was like, should I go away and research more of this? She's like, yeah. And then she goes, but don't be preachy about it. Because at the time it felt like,
yeah, don't go starting a podcast or anything like that.
well, it was because, and I took that one as being like, no one wants to hear. If they want to hear, they'll ask.
Yeah.
Don't be in the same way that I don't want people forcing their religion on me. If I want to ask questions about it, they can tell me about it then. But then on Wednesday, when I was thinking about the energy thing, that thought came up again. It was like, don't be preachy about it. But it was not only because people don't want to know, but you're going to sound like a fucking lunatic talking to normal people about this.
It's believe it or not, it has taken me a very long time to be like, yeah, I do actually really fully believe in this shit. After I left Dreamglade the first time, and even my other ayahuasca experiences like then, it wasn't really quite the like, oh, I'm talking to a plant spirit right now. This plant spirit's guiding me. It was more just like I'm on ayahuasca. I'm doing this drug.
Absolutely.
Essentially. And like now it's like, oh no, I'm communicating with this like fucking energy that just exists within these plants that are all around us right now. It's like that's something.
It's insane. It is something. It is absolutely something that like 200 years ago would get you lobotomized if you said that to someone. Like it's insane, and you sound insane. And like when I left Dreamglade, it was like, okay, like you, I was on ayahuasca, I was on drugs in the woods, but there was that kind of like, but what if there is something there? And now it's the other way around, where it's like, oh yeah, you were on ayahuasca and the drug and whatever, and like a small bit, and now the bigger bit is like, there is something.
Yeah.
And like you sound insane talking about it.
And it's also just like I don't care.
No,
like,
neither do I.
I don't have the need to like figure it out and explain it. It's more of just the like acceptance, like yeah, it's there. That's just something. That's just something else.
There's something going on. And like I was talking to Kevin earlier as well about like the energies thing, because I thought that's all fucking mad. But if you look at it like rationally, like there are energies in the world. Like scientifically, there are energies in the world. But you think of them as like, force or this. I'm not a scientist. Light. Like they're the two easy ones. But like, there's probably shitloads more other ones as well. But you don't learn about them, or you can't measure them, or whatever it is. And like Maeve was saying the other day, like it's maybe one day somebody will invent some sort of machine that can pick up on different frequencies or different whatever that were previously like not thought to exist.
Yeah. I don't know who said this to me or exactly what it was that said, but like it was one of those things that like really made me actually stop and think about it. But like people walk around all fucking day with fucking Wi-Fi on their phones. Like you can't see that shit. And like you don't stop to believe in like that the fucking Wi-Fi is not there. Like there's this signal that's emitting that allows you to fucking access the internet that like all of these like that's all energy. That's all energy that's right here that we cannot see, and we use it every single goddamn day.
Exactly.
But yet when I talk about talking to fucking plants, I'm the goddamn crazy.
Yeah, you're the crazy person. But yeah, I think I'm fully on board. I'm more on board than I'm not. We'll see what happens when I enter reality and people start giving me weird looks. But I really don't care. Like, then there was a point because she was like, "You're gonna sound like a crazy person." I was like, "Yeah, I don't really care.
Yeah,
like,
that's fine.
I really don't give a shit."
Well, Steve, this has been just a phenomenal, joyful, insightful chat that I am, once again, just want to end this with just so much fucking gratitude to you for being willing to hop on here with me.
Thanks for having me on.
And to anybody who listens to this, I trust that this goes into whatever ears need to hear this conversation.
Yeah, if anything I've said can help one person, great. It's amazing.
But yeah, thank you to Grandmother Ayahuasca, you beautiful, beautiful plant spirit, and all of the other plant allies that we've been working with this week. And yeah, be sure that you like and subscribe to this YouTube channel, to this podcast, wherever you're listening to this on. And then also, if you're interested in kind of just deep diving and learning, being part of like a community that's having these conversations too, check out my Patreon, where we'll do like monthly group calls, and you can have opportunities to do like one-on-ones with me. If I can help you in any way, I'm more than happy to figure out what that might be. But yeah, thank you. I love you. We're done.